My name's Joe. This is a story about how I got my family.
So when I first met Joe, he was placed about an hour and a half outside of St. Louis. He was 13 and I was supervisor of the Extreme Recruitment Program. So Extreme Recruitment works with what really our community considers the hardest to place kids for adoption.
When Miss Denise first came to me and I realized that she was going to try to help me, I did not want the help. I thought I was Mr. Do-It-All myself, because that's how I've been doing it.
He had been in foster care for about 3 years already. He was in a residential facility for about the last year and just wasn't making any progress. He also had a detention juvenile officer, which means that literally he was one pinky toe away from juvenile detention.
14-year-old Joe was all smiles when he met Rams defensive tackle Matt Conrad.
We had the opportunity to do a place to call home, which really, Joe, again, had just so much written on paper, negative. So I knew that we needed that, a place to call home, to let people see the Joe that I saw.
Family means no worrying, happiness, caring. It means a lot to me. Because I've trusted a lot of people and they came and go. So I just want them to be there.
Finding a family for him, he was very inquisitive about, the possibility of having that adoptive family.
We actually met him outside of a Cracker Barrel. He was with his foster mom at the time, and that was kind of a halfway point for us. And of course, we were nervous as all get out because we're thinking, what's he gonna think of us? Or is he gonna like us? Or is he gonna want us to be his parents? But when we pulled in, he was standing outside the car, and I kind of just started to cry because I'm like, that's our child.
When I first met them, after everything went down, I didn't want to get my hopes up at first, but at the same time, I couldn't help but get my hopes up. And when I got back, I just cried because I knew that I would have a family. It was kind of like an immediate spark.
Anne was a big help. She came to the house weekly, basically talked us through the whole program that they had. She taught us some techniques to deal with Joe.
I was brought in to help stabilize that placement and build relationships between Joe and his parents.
As we kind of went on through our parenting journey, we had so many struggles, and Anne's program, when we were going through it, was the positive parenting, was a whole new way for us to think. But she made us understand that that probably wasn't his way of life before coming to our home.
So we empower the parents to understand the behaviors and to be able to accept them unconditionally for the time being while they help the child feel safe enough to begin to trust and change.
Just to have that outside reassurance, somebody that kept looking into our family and kept giving us the it'll be okay kind of reassurance was so helpful, because there were definitely times that Wayne and I were ready to throw in the towel and give up because we didn't know how to handle a situation.
I had some problems. I had a mental breakdown. I got sent to a hospital. And it was 4 hours away. But they came and saw me on the weekends, which really showed me that they're gonna be here through thick and thin. If they're gonna come see me then I know whatever I do, they'll be there behind me.
But that was a turning moment, that the piece fell in, and at that point it was the three of them. The three of them against the world, the three of them against whatever challenges came up. It was no longer child and parents, it was a family.
If the foster and adoptive care wouldn't have came in at the time that they did, I honestly think I'd either be in jail or dead because of the path that I was taking then. I was such an angry child. And what they've done for me is I've literally turned my life a 180. I'm a totally different person than I was then to now. And I want to thank everybody who's been out there that supported me and who has sponsored the Adoption Foster Care Coalition to help give me the life that I've always wanted. Thank you.